Hello everyone, and today I will talk about sadness. Let's start. Sadness is a universal emotion that every individual experiences at some point in their lives. It is a natural response to difficult or distressing situations and can range from mild disappointment to severe depression. Sadness can be caused by a variety of factors such as the loss of a loved one, a breakup, or a setback in one's personal or professional life. It can also be a symptom of mental health conditions such as depression or anxiety. One of the most important things to understand about sadness is that it is a normal and healthy emotion. It allows us to process difficult experiences and come to terms with them. Without sadness, we would be unable to fully appreciate the happy moments in our lives. However, sadness can also become overwhelming and lead to negative consequences if not addressed. It is important to seek help if sadness persists or interferes with daily activities. This can include talking to a therapist, joining a support group, or participating in self-care activities such as exercise, meditation, and journaling. In conclusion, sadness is a natural and necessary emotion that plays an important role in our mental and emotional well-being. While it may be uncomfortable and difficult, it is a necessary part of the human experience. It is important to acknowledge and understand sadness, but also to seek help when necessary, to ensure that it does not become overwhelming. Additionally, it's important to remember that sadness can be a sign of growth and change. It can indicate that something in our lives needs to change and that we need to take steps to move forward. Many people find comfort and healing through creative outlets such as writing, painting, or music. Expressing one's feelings through art can be a powerful way to process and understand sadness. It allows us to externalize and make sense of our emotions in a way that is not always possible through verbal communication. Sadness is also a reminder of the importance of connection and community. When we are feeling down, reaching out to friends, family, or loved ones can provide a sense of support and understanding. Often, just talking through our feelings with someone can help to alleviate sadness and bring perspective to a difficult situation. In summary, sadness is a complex and multifaceted emotion that can be difficult to navigate. However, by understanding that sadness is a normal and healthy part of the human experience, we can learn to accept it and find ways to cope with it. Seeking help when necessary, engaging in self-care, and connecting with others can all be effective ways to manage sadness. It's also important to remember that sadness is not permanent, it's a temporary state that will pass. It's important to give yourself time and space to grieve, to process your emotions, and to heal. But also to remind yourself that this is not the end, that tomorrow is a new day, and that things will get better. One way to help move through sadness is by practicing gratitude. By focusing on the things that we are thankful for, we can shift our perspective and find a sense of hope and optimism. Even in the darkest of times, there are always things to be grateful for, whether it's a supportive friend, a warm bed to sleep in, or a beautiful sunset. Lastly, it's important to remember that everyone's experience with sadness is different and that there is no right or wrong way to feel or cope with it. What works for one person may not work for another. It's important to be compassionate and understanding towards ourselves and others when it comes to sadness. In conclusion, sadness is a natural and universal emotion that everyone experiences at some point in their lives. It's important to understand that it is normal, temporary, and that it will pass. Remember to seek help when necessary, practice self-care, connect with others, and practice gratitude. Above all, be kind and compassionate with yourself and others as we navigate through the ups and downs of life. It's also important to keep in mind that there are different types of sadness and different levels of intensity. Some people may experience occasional feelings of sadness in response to a specific event, while others may experience a more persistent, long-term sadness that interferes with their daily lives. For individuals experiencing more intense or long-term sadness, it is essential to seek professional help. A mental health professional can help to diagnose and treat underlying mental health conditions, such as depression or anxiety, which may be contributing to feelings of sadness. They can also provide coping strategies and support to help individuals manage and overcome their sadness. It's also worth noting that culture and society also play a role in how we experience and express sadness. Different cultures have different norms and expectations regarding emotions, and some may be more accepting of sadness than others. It's important to be mindful of these cultural differences and to respect other people's ways of expressing and coping with sadness. In summary, sadness is a complex emotion that can take many forms and can be caused by a variety of factors. It's essential to understand that sadness is normal and temporary, but when it becomes overwhelming, it's important to seek professional help. Remember to be kind and compassionate with yourself and others, practice self-care, connect with others, and practice gratitude, also taking in consideration cultural and societal influences on the expression and coping with sadness. Another point to consider is that sadness can be a sign of a deeper issue and should not be ignored, left untreated, or dismissed as normal when it becomes chronic or debilitating. It's important to recognize when sadness becomes a hindrance to your daily life and to seek help to address any underlying issues. Additionally, it's important to understand that healing from sadness and grief is not a linear process. It's not something that happens overnight. It's a journey that takes time and patience. It's not uncommon to experience setbacks or relapses. It's important to be gentle with yourself and to remember that healing takes time. Furthermore, it's essential to understand that healing from sadness does not mean forgetting or dismissing the person or event that caused it. It's about learning how to live with the loss, to find a way to incorporate it into your life, and to find a new way to live with the memories and emotions. In conclusion, sadness is a normal and universal emotion that everyone experiences at some point in their lives, but it's important to recognize when it becomes debilitating, to seek professional help, and to understand that healing is a journey that takes time and patience. It's essential to be kind and compassionate with yourself, practice self-care, connect with others, practice gratitude, take in consideration cultural and societal influences, and to remember that healing does not mean forgetting. Another important aspect to consider is that sadness can be a sign of a deeper issue, such as unresolved trauma or unresolved past experiences. It's important to address and process any unresolved past experiences that may be contributing to feelings of sadness. A therapist or counselor can help to identify and work through these underlying issues and provide support in the healing process. It's also important to acknowledge that some people may have a genetic predisposition or a chemical imbalance that makes them more susceptible to feelings of sadness. In these cases, medication and therapy can be an effective treatment option. In addition to seeking professional help, it's important to engage in self-care activities such as exercise, healthy eating, and getting enough sleep. These activities can help to improve mood, boost energy, and promote a sense of well-being. Lastly, it's important to remember that sadness is a natural and normal part of life, and that it can be an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. By learning to cope with and overcome sadness, we can become stronger and more resilient individuals. In summary, sadness is a complex emotion that can be caused by a variety of factors and can have different levels of intensity. It's important to seek professional help when necessary, engage in self-care activities, address unresolved past experiences, and acknowledge that some people may have a genetic predisposition. Sadness can also be an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. By coping with and overcoming sadness, we can become stronger and more resilient individuals. Another important aspect to consider is how to communicate and express sadness to others. It can be difficult to express sadness to others because it can make them uncomfortable and they may not know how to respond. It's important to remember that it's okay to share your sadness with others and to ask for support. It's important to find people you trust and who can provide a listening ear and support you during this time. It's also important to be mindful of how others may be experiencing sadness. It's important to offer empathy, support, and to not dismiss or invalidate their feelings. Be a good listener and offer words of encouragement. It's also important to understand that healing from sadness is a process, and it's not always going to be easy. It's important to be patient with yourself and to not put too much pressure on yourself to move on or get over it. It's important to take the time you need to heal and to not be afraid to ask for help when you need it. In conclusion, sadness is a universal emotion that everyone experiences at some point in their lives. It's important to understand that it is normal and to seek professional help when necessary. Remember to engage in self-care activities, to communicate and express sadness to others, to practice empathy, and to be patient with yourself during the healing process. Sadness can also be an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. By coping with and overcoming sadness, we can become stronger and more resilient individuals. Thanks for watching this video. See you soon. Bye everyone.